Okay, today we're going to be reviewing three separate shoulder holsters. The first one we have is a Galco. This is the lite version. Then we have the expensive Miami 2 version. And the third one we're going to be doing is the AlienGear leather shoulder holster setup. And I did order another paddle set because I have a 1911. As you can see here, that we're going to try for all of them. Now this is the 4-inch version of the 1911. So to give you an example, like this, the one that I ordered had to be a regular size, so they sent it to me because they weren't sure if it was going to fit or not. The other two, same thing, so we'll be using the same gun for all three of the setups. This is an EMP4 4-inch Springfield model, so let's get started. Okay, the first one we're going to start with is the lite, the version from the Galco. Just taking it out of the box, I can tell you right now, the leather is not the greatest quality. You can see it's pretty thin. It is all leather, however. There's some plastics in the straps that hold the shoulder part, the restraints on. And then it does have one single magazine holder in addition to the gun holster itself. It's pretty flimsy, but then again, you know, $100, you get what you pay for, I guess. It's not fake leather. It's just not the greatest quality. I unfortunately have to hold my phone too for all of this. I apologize, but I don't have a holder or anything to do that with, so I will try to pause so that I don't have to move the phone around quite as much. So what I'm going to do is just put the firearm into this so you can get kind of an idea. They claim that this one is made for that one. Let's find out if it is. Okay, so we have the firearm in now. Yes, it does fit. It does need a couple of adjustments, which, you know, all of them are going to need. This one, in order to have this strapped onto it, which I can't do obviously with one hand, the gun has to be cocked in order for this to go in front of the hammer for it to close. But it does fit snugly. I mean, it's not bad. You can see that it comes just to the edge. It's lightweight. This thing here, the thumb release, is plastic, which I guess is not a huge issue. I mean, it doesn't add a whole lot of weight to it. But you know, you can see that it does cover the trigger so you don't have any accidental fire or anything like that. Now, this gun has a safety on it anyway. Once it's cocked, it's got a safety bar on it that you can use to keep it cocked while it's in the holster, so it'll safely fit in a holster, rather. Apologize. So yeah, so that's the first one. That's the lite. Again, kind of cheesy, thin leather. Definitely, I will not be keeping this one. So on to the next one. Okay, this is the next one. This is the Galco. This is the Miami 2 series, which is their top of the line. This one runs about $199. I got it on Amazon, the same as I got all of these, actually. I did get one of the adjustments for the paddle holsters for the AlienGear from them directly, from AlienGear holsters rather. Anyway, this one's pretty nice. It definitely has better, thicker leather, and the magazines fit better inside the magazine holder. Now, this is the Galco for the 5-inch Colt. I had to do a couple of modifications that I did before the video. I removed this screw right here, which is just a tension screw to hold it into the holster because it wouldn't go all the way in. But other than that, it's cut pretty fit. So I had to pause just for a second to put the firearm in. But there you can see it does stick out a little bit because I had to take the pin out right here. Otherwise, the gun just wouldn't stay in, you know, as far as that goes. Now, there's a couple issues with this one that I have. The first one is it is more comfortable to wear. The pads are thicker. I'm sorry, the leather pieces are thicker on the shoulder parts, which is good. The leather is just about the same thickness, though, as that cheap Miami one, as far as this part goes. The only noticeable difference is the thickness of the actual magazine holder, which you get two with this one instead of just one. Get untangled here. So that's kind of cool. One of the disadvantages, though, with this holster and with the other one, that Galco does not provide the belt straps. I don't understand why that is, especially when you're paying $200 for a holster. You'd think you would get everything you need to go with it, but you don't. So it's about 20 bucks extra for these. You have to order them from Galco directly. You may be able to get them online at Amazon, but it's kind of crappy. So I thought that, you know, like I said, if you pay $200 for a holster, you should get everything to go with it. I don't understand why they can't just include a $15, $20 piece of leather. So anyway, the second thing that I don't care for about this one is the strap for this. Even if you take this out completely to get the firearm to set all the way in the holster so that it'll snap, is that it's really, really hard to snap it. So when it's attached to your body or when you're wearing the unit, it's really hard to reach underneath your arm and snap this thing, even whether it's, you know, in the cock position or not. So there's no way to adjust this either. I mean, it is what it is, and so, you know, that's all you can get. Unfortunately, they don't have one for the 4-inch, but like I said, in order to get it, I mean, can you imagine if you had a 5-inch, it'd be sticking out the back, or even larger. So basically, the next thing I don't care for is that my firearm specifically, and a lot of them out there, have these Tritons, the sights on them that are the Triton. These are expensive suckers, and some of them come with the firearm, some don't. Well, mine happen to come with them. A lot of the Sig Sauers have them, but it catches on the inside of the holster up in there, and I'm just scared one day, you know, especially if I have to bring it out in an emergency or really fast, then I'm going to snap that off and break it. So again, I don't really care for that, but other than that, it's a pretty good holster. It's not, you know, horrible, but it's not like really awesome. And, you know, when I first was looking at holsters, I was like, wow, that looks like the ones used in Miami Vice or, you know, Magnum PI or whatever the cop shows. And so I thought the quality of it, you know, was going to be exactly what I wanted. And I have decided that I am not going to go with this one either for those reasons that I just gave you. It is comfortable, though. It is more comfortable than the first Galco, than the Lite series, but not like enough to warrant $100 more. And I don't think that the quality of the leather is good, but you're only paying for basically these two things for $100 more. And to me, that's not worth it, especially when it grabs the tip of the thing, or you have to remove parts to make it work. It's just not cool. So other than that, it's a great holster. If I didn't have the third option, I would probably go with this one. And just because of all the holsters that I've had, especially shoulder holsters, this is, you know, the second of the best that I've gotten. And I would just order the belt straps. I mean, like I said, I think it's kind of cheesy they don't have them, but it is what it is. So let's move on to the third one. All right, the third one is the AlienGear. Now, AlienGear is a proprietary system that allows you to buy different. They make them custom fit to each firearm, and unfortunately, again, they don't have one for my 4-inch EMP. So I ordered the 5-inch version, and I told them that I wanted to order a special, what they call the Cloak series, that hasn't come yet in the mail. I will do a separate review on that if I feel like I need to, but basically this is pretty much going to get it all through. As far as, let's go with the first of the quality of the build and the leather. So this one is absolutely, hands down, night and day, dark and light, better leather, thicker leather. It's a little bit softer than the Galcos are. And these shoulder pad things are absolutely awesome. Now, I haven't fit this quite perfectly to me yet, but you can see how the padding, I mean, it's absolutely more comfortable than the Galco are. It does have a plastic center strap, but it's, you know, obviously it's fully adjustable. I don't really care about the plastics in it, but these leather side straps are absolutely very comfortable. They're padded. You can see they're thicker. They also have a tension adjustment on them that you can pull up and down. Sorry with the camera, but you can see how I'm pulling up and down on that. So it recesses the difference of the length of the straps back up into the actual pad itself, which is kind of cool. So then you have long, if you're a thin, slender guy, then you have a whole ton of strap hanging out and it looks terrible. Plus, it gets in the way of everything. But these are absolutely nice, and they're totally adjustable. I'm a big guy myself, so I'm going to obviously have to undo these. These are made for somebody that are about 5'7", 5'8", maybe 165 or 75 pounds when they come out of the box. But these just unscrew with a Phillips screwdriver. You can adjust them to whatever you need. It does have 2 magazine holders. Now, these also have, you can read on there, they come with an adjustment tool, which is just basically an Allen screwdriver. Anyway, you can take that tool and you can adjust the retention of the clips. When you pull them out of the box, especially for a single stack like mine, 9mm is what I have and what I ordered for. They have them for 40 cal, they have them for 45 ACP, and they've got them, I believe, for 10mm. But anyway, this is for the Colt, and so because they didn't have one, I had to order what I could get. So I have not set the tension on these. These are too thick width-wise, so I'm a little bit worried about that because this is the holster set that I'm going to keep, and I'm going to try to work this one out so that I can use it. The other thing, too, that it does that is pretty cool that the others do not is it has a cover that goes over. Now, I took these paddles off because I'm still trying to set it to my firearm. But when it came together, this pad here, this is the part that holds the firearm. Get it together here for you. And this part here comes down, and this sits in here, whichever paddle you're going to use, or whichever fitment you're going to use, and then this comes down across it. This little piece of stuff right there. So this is connected to there. It comes down like this. It comes down over the top of it, and it sits like that under your shoulder. So basically, it's super, super comfortable. This thing, get this off of here. It's fully adjustable too. That's Velcro. The bottom part of the pad is extremely comfortable. It's also padded. It's very thick. I want to say very thick, but it's thick enough to where you can feel the padding, but not too thick that it sticks and bulges out of the side of your suit or your clothing or whatever you're going to wear it on for concealment. But yeah, overall, the build quality is really good. The leather is good quality. The adjustability is the main thing that I like about this. And AlienGear, each of their different paddles, I want to kind of go over these a little bit too. I know there's other videos out there, but these are kind of cool. These are what they call the shape shift. And what they allow you to do is you can take pieces of them apart from your firearm, and you can actually put them on like an IWB or an OWB holster. And all you do is order the bottom part from them, and then the second plate that comes with the set after you decide which one you're going to use, you can use for a secondary holster or a third or a fourth. All you do is order the bottom plate, and it's like $50 or $40, something like that. And it may not even be that expensive, maybe $25. And they're custom molded again for your gun, and you put these, like, let's say you have one in your car, and you want to carry, an IWB in your car. So you just take the plate that comes with it. It's already cut for your firearm. You get the bottom plate that goes with it, and now you have a holster, secondary holster for your car, as well as your shoulder holster setup. So this one would be mounted, if that's the one I decide to go with. Now, the difference in these two plates is that one has a pressure hold for the gun, which is this one. So you just put a square Allen screw in there, and that tightens the tension down on the release itself, so that when the firearm is inside of there, you can see how it goes inside. When the pad is on here, or this piece here is mounted to it, it puts pressure on it, and that allows you to gauge how tight you want the firearm if you don't want the click thing on there. Now, I personally like the click thing. It is a little bit bulkier and cumbersome, which is this one. This is the push button, so that when this is mounted inside, you have to push the button in order to release it. So basically what happens is when you put the firearm in, it goes over that little switch right there, and it clicks in, and you have to push the button to release once there's a tension piece that goes on here. So if this is mounted in there, you have to push this side button in order to release the trigger guard, and then the firearm will come out. So it's kind of up to you how you want to configure it, which is kind of cool. And I think the flexibility of that is really nice. Now, if I put these two together, which I could do, it will give me the snap lever as well as the tension, unless I decide to take that off, which I probably won't do. I'll just leave it on there. I don't have a secondary holster anyway at this point. I do have an IWB that's a different brand, but so yeah. So as far as quality goes, I mean, like I said, the leather is really soft. It's really nice. It's well done. There's stitches in it. And they have a lifetime warranty on theirs too. I think it's only a 10-year on the Galco. I'm not positive. But I know that AlienGear is a lifetime. And if anything ever goes wrong with any of it, they just replace it for free. Downfall of AlienGear. One of the main downfalls that I have with AlienGear, and a lot of people do, and I know it's not just because of COVID. I mean, COVID has definitely slowed down the production of everything in our world, we know. But even before then, I had a Sig Sauer P229 that I ordered an IWB from them on. And back then, and even now, their shipping time is really, really long. And they claim that it's because they make each holster specifically for your gun, for your firearm, custom. And obviously, this is for a 1911 Colt or any 1911 single stack. We just thought that it would work, which it does. Of course, it does stick out a little bit. The length of it here. I guess if you really wanted to, you could cut it off. You have to be careful though, because if you cut it, you're going to void the warranty. Number one, and number two, if you put the side strap on, these rails right here are what hold the holsters together. So when you put them together, you have to slide those rails into each other here in order for this top part to lock on. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But basically, if you don't care about the click lock, then the one side will work, and it just mounts inside the clamshell part of the holster. But if you want both of them together, and you do like the click lock, and you don't mind fidgeting and reaching in to push this every time to pull the gun out, it is adjustable, but for the most part, you're going to have to push this every time you pull the gun out. So a lot of people say, well, that slows my reaction time down. What if I get nervous and I can't, think about it, or if I don't push hard enough, or, something like that. Those are all things you need to consider before you decide whether you want to go with the click lock. If you don't want a click lock, then like I said, you can go with just this half, only it's going to be held in only with tension instead of the click lock. So the disadvantage to the tension is that obviously if you have not enough tension, the gun's going to fall out. If you have too much tension, you're not going to be able to draw it. So be real careful when you do your settings. But if you can live with this difference and you have a 4-inch, any type of 1911 4-inch, not a compact and not a subcompact. This is considered a midsize. I don't think that Springfield calls this a actual compact weapon, but either way, I've tried, I've got some grips coming, and I ordered them for the compact, and I can already tell you they don't fit. They're not long enough. You have to get the regular length. I think they're C10s or something like that specifically fit a Colt, because the distance between the holes is different. So anyway, going back to the holsters, if you can live with this, because either way, they're not going to see it. Nobody's going to care. Then this is the holster you want to get until they at least come out with one that will fit a 4-inch frame. So basically, I'm just waiting on the other one to get here to see if it will fit. Part of their other system, which is not the shape shift, their cloak system, as they call it, is meant for guns that do not fit in the shape shift cases. So when that gets here, hopefully in the next week or so, I hopefully will use that one, and hopefully it will fit my Springfield. If it doesn't, I'm going to use this one, and I don't care about the difference of the gap in the gun, between the gun and the frame. To me, that's negligible. It doesn't really matter, so long as this isn't sticking out the back of my coat or whatever when I'm carrying it. If it does, I probably won't care about the warranty. I'll just trim it down and be done with it, and I'll just make sure that I leave enough on there, or I'll just, glue it permanently or whatever you need to do. Other than that, this is definitely the holster that I will be keeping. So I'm excited to see it. Comes with tons of parts, as you can see, for all your adjustment stuff. They give you some extra screws and stuff. It's just run by an Allen key. That's how you mount everything, and you can lock. You can kind of see right in there. There's an Allen key, or I'm sorry, an Allen screw. So this is how you do all the adjustments to the holster. That's pretty much it. So this will be the one I keep. I'm going to send the 2 Galcos back. I hope this helped you out. Go ahead and leave me a message if it did or didn't. And look forward to seeing what the next paddle set looks like. Take care, everybody, and be safe.